This is The Download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news in the business of podcasting. I'm Gavin Gaddis. Here's what you need to know for today, Tuesday, June 2nd. First up, SiriusXM to bring Conan O'Brien, Trevor Noah podcasts, and more to Tubi exclusive. SiriusXM's non-exclusive deal with Tubi will bring several popular video podcasts to the platform, including The School of Greatness, Rotten Mango, and Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, with more shows coming later. Episodes will remain available on YouTube and other podcast platforms while also appearing on Tubi. This deal continues Fox's development of Tubi's podcasting bona fides, including signing a multi-year deal with AudioChuck and acquiring Red Seat Ventures late last year. Next up, as audio goes programmatic, ANA sees growing demand for premium supply. The Association of National Advertisers has published a Programmatic Transparency Benchmark report for Q1 of 2026. One trend the report identifies is that top advertisers are getting more value from each ad dollar, while the lower half are overcommitting to inventory that doesn't deliver value. Private marketplace transactions, often used by audio publishers, accounted for 85% of programmatic spending in Q1, up from 79.2% in Q4 of 2025. Next up, Pixels on trial, why the IAB says a recent lawsuit is a threat to all ad-supported media. The Washington Supreme Court is hearing Baker v. Seattle Children's Hospital, in which plaintiffs argue that the hospital's use of Meta-Pixel for marketing turned patients' clicks and page views into illegally intercepted private communications. The case relies on wiretapping laws written in the 1960s to argue that pixel-intercepted data is akin to spying on a phone call. Author Andrew Bird interviews IAB Executive Vice President and General Counsel Michael Hahn about why the IAB has filed an amicus brief in this case and why he thinks pre-internet wiretapping laws do not fit modern privacy concerns. And for our final top story, podcasting's dirty secret: no one wants their real numbers, me included. This morning's issue of Media Built reflects on the sting and utility of knowing the real number sooner rather than later. Correcting inflated metrics to the real numbers will always sting, as when iOS 17 corrected an Apple Podcast auto download behavior that caused ripples across the podcasting industry. Steve Raizes argues it's better to rip the bandage off sooner rather than later, and points to the Alliance for Measurement in Podcasting's work to build a new industry-ready definition and usable metric for a podcast. As for the rest of the news, the New York Times reports that the proposed SiriusXM and iHeartMedia merger talks have been put on ice. Transistor has posted a video recording of co-founder Justin Jackson and Podcast Marketing Academy's Jeremy Enns presenting at the podcast show London on whether podcasting is cooked or not. Spoiler, it is neither chopped nor unk. Next Wednesday, June 10th at noon Eastern Standard Time, Podscribe will be debuting its Q2 2026 podcast advertising performance benchmarks via a live webinar. Triton Digital's Q2 2026 quarterly roadmap presentation is now available for viewing. SiriusXM has announced a 3-year renewal of production, distribution, and exclusive ad sales for long-running and, in this writer's opinion, funny comedy podcast, Comedy Bang Bang. AudioChuck has appointed former SoulCycle executive Evelyn Webster as its new CEO, and TubeFilter covers YouTube's new podcast super user perks for premium subscribers, including an on-the-go mode and an intelligent playback speed adjustment for slower speech and information-dense segments. That does it for today's episode of The Download. Remember, you can find links to everything I just talked about by clicking the one link in your show notes. That'll take you to today's episode post on soundsprofitable.com, where you can also subscribe to get the newsletter version emailed directly to you every day. Today's issue was written and produced by myself, Tom Webster, Molly Demillier, and Brian Barletta. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis, and we'll see you tomorrow.